Recovery is a little bit tricky to talk about because recovery for every stroke victim is different. Um, if they even are lucky enough to survive their stroke. For me, we didn't know what had caused my stroke. And because I was so young, they wanted to do every single test in the book to make sure why, and to make sure or to wonder why, and to make sure that it wouldn't happen again to me or to another young person like me, because it is more and more common for young people to be diagnosed with strokes. I actually had a handful of procedures done. I had 3 MRIs in the hospital. I had to have an angiogram, which is an invasive procedure where they actually go in through your groin and they go up through your stomach, or not through your stomach rather, but up through your body and take a picture of your heart and through your spinal cord and your stems. And they were injecting me with metallic, I don't even know what it was, but I remember my brain was just, I could feel every stem in my brain with this metallic dye, because they had to take these pictures of every single blood vessel in my brain. And the only way for them to take this picture is to inject me with these dyes, and for the picture to, pick up that I'm not clotting in certain areas. And these dyes, they're hot, and they make you feel like your head is on fire. And, they tell you you may feel like you need to pee your pants, but they don't warn you. I mean, I was seeing lightning bolts. I mean, it was uncomfortable enough being so vulnerable, but then also being picked and prodded. I almost felt like a pincushion at one point. I was so frustrated with everything. And not to mention I had to have a PICC line, because a PICC line is for someone who is in the hospital and who is a potential flatline. How do I say this nicely? Basically, it's a line, so just in case if I were to die, it's an easy way for them to try to resuscitate me. So I had a PICC line in the entire time, and every hour they would come in and flush it, give me new medicine, and by the 3rd or 4th day, this thing's really really freaking sore. And my arm was throbbing. I was tired. I kept telling them, I just want a cheeseburger. That's all I want, because I didn't want any of this crappy hospital food anymore. I didn't want to be gawked at. I didn't want to be looked at. I didn't want to be laying in a bed with everyone around me, my family, my boyfriend, and I didn't want them to see me like that. And my biggest fear was I didn't want them to see me die. At one point after one of my procedures, I was really, really, really grumpy. And I get to my room and my family is all there, and they're all talking, and they're all nervous too, because I just got out of one of my procedures. And, I have to stay still for 8 hours, because if I move, I have a risk of potentially clotting. So I have to stay laid on my back for 8 hours with my head strapped down. People are feeding me ice chips. I can't drink on my own. And this is preventative stuff. This isn't just, this is just icing on top of the cake. But, at one point I really freaked out, and I said, I'm the one in the hospital bed. Can everyone just shut up? And I told my whole family, I said, everyone just shut up. I'm in the hospital bed. just please. And I asked for silence at that moment. And it was hard for me to see everyone around my bed talking, walking, smiling, and I couldn't move. Even though it was my family, my boyfriend, it was so frustrating that I couldn't do those simple things. And for me, I'm such a confident person, that for me to have my voice taken away you might as well have taken my whole everything, because my voice is everything to me. I'm the first person to say, hey, I'm cold. I'm the first person to say, whoa, I'm uncomfortable. I use my voice more than I probably should. And, I'm so grateful for the fact that I did go through these steps of rehabilitation to get to where I am. I actually left the hospital after day 4, and we had figured out what the cause of the stroke was, and it was from birth control and cigarettes. It's something that I would see every single day on the pack of my birth control, warning me, don't mix it with cigarettes or whatever. Every time I buy my pack of cigarettes, Surgeon General warning. Didn't care. And my doctor actually told me that I was actually the statistic. And that didn't make me feel much better. But at the same time, somebody has to be that statistic. And I guess it was me. It's hard not to get bitter after all of this. After everything that you go through with a stroke and the recovery, the physical therapy, the speech therapy, the sympathy, you go through so much as an individual with a stroke, and then to put on all these worldly figures too is very, very difficult. And I urge everyone who has watched this video to think about their method of birth control, or possibly change. If you're a smoker, think of something that can, like an IUD that you can smoke with, and you're not having the risk factors that could potentially help or have you have a stroke. Now, you probably noticed in this video that I've tripped up a couple times on my words, and that's actually from my stroke, and I have a speech impediment because of it now. It's very hard for you to catch it, and now 2 years after my stroke, it comes and goes. I have good days with it, but I'm very blessed to have my voice, and if it has a stutter in it, I absolutely love my voice with the stutter. And my mom calls me the new improved Sam, and we joke about it, but really I think that this is God's way of really knocking me on the head and saying, wake up. And also to teach people that this really does happen to people, and it really affects people's lives. It's hard for me because I sit here and you can't see any damage. You're looking at me. I'm pretty. I have blonde hair. I don't have paralysis. I'm not in a wheelchair. I can actually walk away from this interview. But most stroke survivors cannot walk away from their interviews. And most of the time they can't even have an interview. So I'm very blessed to be able to speak my mind, and to let I was given my voice for a reason, and this is how I'm going to use it. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope that this helps with anyone. I don't know. I hope that it helps anyone struggling with anything. If you're a stroke survivor, I also have a blog that I'll attach to this video. And I hope that, that my voice is heard. Thank you.